Welcome, everyone. My name is JoAnne Woods-Young, and I'd like to introduce you to my new podcast called Spiritually Speaking. And the reason I'm naming it Spiritually Speaking is I want to give listeners an insight to a little way that you can shift your perspective and kind of get some clarity on maybe a better way to live your life, a way that will help you see the world through the lens of a magical eye and see maybe that the world is conspiring on your side and that the universe is actually a benevolent place for all of us. And when we can see it from that lens and that perspective, our lives can shift tremendously. I am an intuitive counselor, a spiritual life coach. So my life's work is about helping people live their best life. And that to me includes a big variety of spirituality, different topics on self-help, healing. I do counseling work to help you overcome any limitations or any wounded parts of you that may be running your life currently. So if you're living in patterns that don't serve you, or you're living in a life that you know you really want to up level, but you don't really know how, I take my 20 years of training in learning all kinds of different things that I've learned that have really helped me up level my life and helped me up level the lives of my clients. These are some of the things I want to talk about with you on this podcast. I'm going to have guests coming in, sharing their skills, sharing their insights and their stories, because I think when we hear the stories of others and see ourselves in those stories, we can be inspired to create those lives and see that there is magic in the world and we can make a major change and difference in the way that we're seeing things that can really help us incorporate change. So currently I'm working with groups of women doing women's coaching to empower women to actually up-level their lives, to see, the changes that they want to make, to inspire them to see that that is actually possible, and then to teach them the ways that they can look at their limiting beliefs and shift them, to go in and do some deep healing counseling work to get to the root cause of some of the ways that we continue to live, and also inspire, motivate, uplift, and empower them to take back their own power and live in the space of knowing that absolutely anything is possible in this lifetime. So we are the creators. I believe we are the creators of our own lives, and that we make a difference when we are able to see it from that perspective. So I think the universe conspires with us to create the life that we really desire deep within. So an example of this is, let's say you were in a job that you really didn't like, and you were making really good money. So you made a great deal of money that helped support your family, it helped support your lifestyle, but you went to work every day in dread. You got through it. It was really challenging. You starting to gain weight. You're feeling stressed out, maybe starting to drink a little too much, and you're just feeling like not at your best self. Your vitality's kind of gone because this job is really draining you. Then all of a sudden January comes around and your company's doing layoffs. You get laid off. And at first it is awful. It's a panic. How are you going to pay your mortgage? What are you going to do? How are you going to pay your kids' tuition? What's going to be your next plan? You go into a really difficult state of challenge, upset, and it's a problem. Then 2 weeks after not being in your job, you're noticing, you're starting to feel lighter. You're starting to feel a little bit more inspired to do some of the things maybe that you once loved. Say it's even just working out, going to a yoga class. And then all of a sudden something else happens where you see an opportunity to do something that you loved. Say it was something like arranging flowers. So you start arranging flowers on the side. Then somebody calls and says, hey, so-and-so needs some flowers for their wedding. Would you be willing to do that? You take a little job doing something like arranging flowers for a wedding. And then somebody else you meet there needs somebody to do it for them. And it just escalates. And you see that by losing your job, which seemed like a really big challenge at the time, was actually a blessing in disguise that leads you to your next thing. And it leads you to a space where you are living in your truest form. And when we can see it from that perspective, get the lesson and look back on it, see the grace that was happening around us, can really help us shift. So those are some of the things I really want to help you see and inspire you to really create the life that you want to live. And one thing I want to start with today is just something that is so simple, and all of us can start by practicing this each and every day. Just starting each day with a practice of gratitude. Being grateful to be here in the world, being grateful that you woke up, grateful for anything you have. Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have food to eat? Do you have a family around you? Like, really looking through the lens of gratitude can shift so many things and can just really help us all see, oh, this is working for me. This is in my favor. It's a great way to start your day, and it's a great way to end your day. And when we can look at all the things that we're grateful for and know that those things will continue to be more because of the gratitude that we feel, we can just get to a place eventually, once you start practicing gratitude. So I'm going to encourage anyone who's listening today to just start right now where you are and just close your eyes and think about 5 things you're grateful for. And again, roof over your head, water to drink, clean water, food, all of those things, just really being in a space of gratitude for where you are. Once we are accustomed to being grateful for all the things that we have and all the reasons why are you grateful for those things? What does your family provide for you? They provide love, connection, all the things we need to feel good, right? And what does food provide for you? Nutrition, sustenance. So looking at all the reasons why you are grateful for the things that you have. And then the next phase of that, which comes in time over the gratitude practice, is just being grateful in general, like really looking at it in a space of awe. And it's an inspiring place to live from. So that's always the goal, but starting with a practice of gratitude can really help you get into that energy that can shift and can help you bring in more. So this is where we're starting today, and next week I'd like to talk more about other simple practices that can really help you. And they're called spiritual practices, but spiritual, I believe, sometimes has a word that sometimes people mistake. It doesn't mean there's any religion or dogma around being spiritual. It's more about the true divine connection that we all have within us. And once we notice that and we can foster that connection and that relationship and live from that space of our inner knowing and our inner wisdom, that's what I feel is, spiritually speaking, is us humans, human beings, being in touch with this inner part of us that can help us in all ways to shift the lives that we're living into the lives that we truly desire. And it brings peace, harmony, and consistency to what we're doing. So it's a great way to really just see life doesn't have to be a challenge. It doesn't have to be something that we're fighting against. We can live in flow and live in a graceful space when we can shift some of the things that we're doing and some of the things that we've been conditioned to believe. So that's what we're doing here with this podcast. It's going to be, we're going to have, as I said earlier, some guests, some simple things that you can start practicing that you will see shifts on. And the one I'm going to leave you with today, again, is that gratitude practice. So every day, starting your day with gratitude, ending your day with gratitude, and even being in a place throughout the day that you're noticing all the things that you have to be grateful for. An attitude of gratitude can always bring you more, and it can always bring you into a better way of feeling and being. So I hope that's helpful to start your day. Again, this is JoAnne Woods Young. I am an intuitive counselor, a spiritual life coach. My mission is to help people live their best lives, and that is through coaching, counseling, healing, inspiring, motivating, and allowing you to see the truth of who you really are. Not all the things that you've been conditioned to believe, not the things that you feel are not enough about you, not the things that you feel you need to shift and change to become somebody else. You can become who you already are by just seeing the beautiful truth of that. And I'm that person who will hold the mirror for you to see that. So wishing you an amazing day. I hope you'll tune in next time and tell all the others, but starting off with gratitude until we meet again. Thanks, my friends.